In the previous module, we spoke about trade entries and exits. In this module, we'll be discussing risk management. So generally, we'll be speaking majorly on lot size calculations, pip value calculation, and how they actually affect your trades. So basically, the goal of this module is to actually show you how to not just manage your risk and also preserve your capital. Let's get started. Pip value calculation is really easy. For example, what you are looking at is the current price of GBP USD 1.34887. The 7 on the last part, or the 8 on the last part, is called the pipette. You don't really need that when you are doing your calculations. So if you are placing a trade, let's say you've done your analysis and you are sure that this is just an example. Let's say, for example, you caught this movement. For example, you've done your analysis and you are sure that GBP USD is going to short meaning it's going to sell from 1.3738 to 1.3437. Like I said before, the 8 is just a pipette. You ignore it. It's an ignorable number. So 1.3736 to 1.3445. If you want to calculate the price of that movement, it's very easy. You just do 1.3738 minus 1.3438. So you have about 0.03. That's about, or better still, to make it easier, just do 3738 minus 3438. That's about 300 pips. So 300 pips on a standard lot, one lot, is $3,000. So for every pip value calculation you do, if you are calculating it on a standard lot, you multiply it by 10. And if you are calculating it on a mini lot, which is 0.1, you multiply it by 1. And if it's on a micro lot, which is 0.01, you divide it by 10. So if you are using 0.01 lots, if you are using 0.01 lots for 300 pips, the value of that trade is $30. If you are using 0.1, the value of that trade is $300. And if you are using one lot, the value of that trade is $3,000. So, for example, I want to get in the trade. We would also calculate the value of stop losses as well. Let's put this a little above the area of resistance. So if you are looking at this, as you can see, there are tools for calculation already. So as you can see, we are risking $80 to make about 288.4. So if you look at it, if you want to get the risk to reward ratio, you divide 288.4 by 80, and as you can see, the risk to reward ratio is 3.58. So if you're on a standard lot, which is one lot, if the trade goes wrong, you lose $800, and if the trade goes your way, you make $2,880. So that is it for pip value calculation and stop losses. There are tools you can also use because there are some pairs there are some pairs or some instruments you are not really aware of the calculations. So just Google P value calculator, or better still, just search for Forex P value calculator. That is for pairs that you are not really aware of how the pricing works. So as you can see, there are so many of them. You can use any one of them. They are very easy to use. So as you can see, trade size, one lot, P value calculation. Let's say you've calculated the number of pips. So for this example, I'll say 8. If you click on calculate, so it shows you the value on every pair. As you can see, standard lot $800, mini lot 80. So this is very easy to use. Euro CHF. Mini lot is 0.1. Standard lot is one lot. As you can see, micro lot 0.01. So different pairs. And so for dollar based pairs, AUD USD, Euro USD, GBP USD, and the likes, 1 pip is $1. 1 pip is $1. So for JPY pairs, I think 1 pip is about $0.75 or so, or 0.6. So you should take note of that as well. So you can see. So the essence of this section of the course is so you know how to properly manage your risk. There is a golden rule. It says don't risk more than 20% of your account. It still stands. But at the end of the day, there is really no, it is not carved in stone. It is not carved in stone. But it is very important because as traders, we can be aggressive at times. But it is still very important you do everything you can to make sure you don't blow your capital. That is the most important part of it all. You can risk 50%, the reward can come and you make 2-3 times your risk. And at times you can get burnt. But above all, make sure you still have capital to trade. Very important. So that is why we are doing all these calculations. So that before you place trades, you can do your maths. Very important. So before you place trades, you can do your maths. You know, oh, if you have a $5,000 account, if you see a trade with a risk of 80, let's say 80 pips risk to make 300 pips or 288 pips or even 200 pips, depending on the size of your account. If you have a $5,000 account, risking one lot to me is not really a lot. You can even do 0.5. So if I see the answer is not carved in stone, I still talked about not risking more than 20% of your account. Some traders will say 10%, but at the end of the day, it still comes to you. It still Everything still comes to you. So we are talking about your psychology here. Very important. Make sure you don't blow your capital. So that's why we are doing all these calculations, so you can see. So this is for Forex pairs. Forex pairs. Other pairs like crypto. Other pairs like crypto have their own big value calculators. So you can see Bitcoin, BTC, USD. Just search for crypto peak value calculator. So let's discuss peak value calculation for crypto. not supposed to omit that at all. So for peak value calculation for crypto, it's very easy and straightforward. Crypto has, depending on the kind of pair, but if the pair is a whole number without decimals, in fact, to calculate peak value for instruments like crypto, especially Bitcoin, most times you have to round it up to make it easier to calculate. So for example, let's say I caught a trade and I'm aware, oh, or let's say I caught this movement. So let's say I've done my analysis and I'm sure that BTC will go from 115,398 to 87,703. All I have to do is subtraction. That's all. 115,398 minus 87,693. That's all I have to do. Or better still, you can use the price range too. It makes it easier. All you have to do is drag it. So as you can see, from 115,398 to 78,762. How many pips is that? 366.359. If you do the subtraction, these two can cause confusion at times. Let's just do the subtraction. One 15 3 9 8.8. I'm adding the decimal because I'm using a calculator. If you want to make the calculation easier for you, you can easily round it up. 78 7 6 2. So as you can see, so we have 36,635. So that's about on a mini lot. That's about 36,600 and sorry, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So that's about 36,635. 36,635 pips. Yes. So the pip value calculation for crypto is different. So you have to do is just subtract. Yeah, 36,600. Yes. So all you have to do is just subtract. These two can be confusing at times. Majorly, I use it for currency pairs. The price range too. So I think it's best you use it for currency pairs. Majorly. So on a mini lot, this is 36,635. On a mini lot and on a standard lot, this is about 366. Sorry, yes, times 10. 366,350 in dollars. So you can see that's a lot. So if you be placing this kind of trade on a standard lot, your account has to be fat to even risk 20% or even 10%. Your account has to be very fat. So if you be doing 0.1, because at times the drawdown can be heavy. So you have to plan your lot sizes very well to accommodate drawdowns. So you are not just looking at the wins alone. In fact, this part of the program speaks mostly to swing traders. You really need to plan your lot size. You need to do your calculations. You can do 0.05. You just know, okay, 18. And this kind of trades take time. You have to wait it out. You really have to wait it out. So I hope this actually helps. Let's do gold. Let's use the price range tool for one more instrument. Let's say EUR USD. I think the price range tool is easier with what's it called? With currency pairs than crypto or other instruments. As you can see. So if you do the math, one this is 275.9 pips. If you calculate it, it's truly 275.9 pips. Let's do the math. 1 0 0. Like I said, the last four, the fifth one is pipette. Always keep that in mind. 15, sorry, 18, 0 0, 15, 20. As you can see, approximately 75.9, and we have 276. So the price range tool is easier to use with currency pairs than it is for other instruments. So whenever you want to calculate the P value of your take profit or your profit target and the P value of your stop losses, especially with currency pairs, you can always use the price range tool. If you are not close to a calculator, if you can't do it from your head, it makes things easier. For currency pairs, please, very important. For other instruments, you have to sit down with it and calculate it, and I've explained it. So for gold, there are tools to help you out with all these calculations, the p-value calculators and all that. I'm just using this as an example. These are examples, sorry, so they make things easier for you. For gold, the movement is calculated and multiplied by 10. So I will explain better. For example, let's say this move, for example, 4061, so 4058 to 4351. Okay, let me bring out the calculator. 4351 sorry, 4351.91. Let's say 0.98. Oh, let us take 4058. Okay, so I'm calculating it from the region of support to the region of resistance. So 4058.065. I made a mistake. Let's just use the current price. 44 minus So if you calculate this, 286.06 times 10. So that's the pip value. So if you multiply it by 10, so this is the movement is 2860.6, or let's approximate it 2861. So on a standard lot, which is one lot, this is 28,000, 2860 on a standard lot times 10, 28,610 if you approximate it for easy calculation. So this 6 becomes 1, 2861. On a mini lot, it still remains 2860. On half of a mini lot, which is 0.05, you have about $1,430. On a micro lot, you divide it by 10, you have 286. So that is it. Very simple. So these numbers will guide you through your risk management and capital preservation. So you don't just open trades with crazy lots. So you don't open $10,000 trade on a 2K account. So you have to plan for drawdowns. You don't just look at the stop losses alone. No, you look at the drawdown as well. You plan for the worst case. At times, it can be close to your drawdown, and before you know it, things go your way. So you have to really plan. So that is it. And I think that will be all for this module. So I wish you success in your trading. And I'm looking forward to your payouts in no distant time. Thank you.